guys, I know it's been a while, and I know you saw the title and possibly the thumbnail. I'm trying to decide what I'm gonna put on the thumbnail. The title is not clickbait. Um, so yeah, so I figured I'll play some Roblox while I try to explain this to you guys, cause it's a lot. It 2024 was a lot for me. Okay, so I'm gonna describe this whole scenario to you guys, right? But I'm gonna have to start from the beginning because there was a lot that happened for this to happen. So let me give you the rundown. Let me give the start of 2024, right? No, not the start. It was probably mid-2024. I take that back. Well, no, it was the start, but I ain't gonna talk about my ex. He doesn't deserve that, so I'm just gonna... whatever. I'm just gonna fast forward. So, April 9th, 2024. So, at this point, right, I was in a relationship, you know, it was my first relationship, whatever, all fine and dandy. I tried to be the perfect girlfriend. I tried to give him breakfast in bed every morning. I tried to clean his house, even though it demasculated him, whatever. April 9th, 2024, so, at this point, the relationship was kinda, I'm feeling like I'm walking on eggshells, right, because, like, it's like every other thing I've done to him, like, resulted in him yelling at me. So I basically opened my heart out to him, right? Love Quinn style. I'm like, I really care about you. I've never felt like this about anyone before, and I'm so scared that you're gonna leave me, and, like, I don't know what to do. I need you to tell me what I need to do. I don't know what to do. Stops me mid in my tracks.
I have never loved you. I will never love you. Matter of fact, take one of your friends to that romantic cabin we booked this weekend, because, like, I don't want to see you again.
So there was that, right? There's that. Skip a little, 3 weeks later. I don't even have time to grieve that relationship. I don't have time to get over, like, to even think about the breakup. Because one of my relatives goes into psychosis. So now I have to sleep with weapons under my pillow every night. I'm talking a whole arsenal. Because I'm worried, because this relative kept breaking into my room at 2 in the morning like a sleep paralysis demon watching me sleep. So now I've got, I know I'm kind of like jumping, but like I said, I'm trying to fast forward this as much as possible. So now I've got chain locks on both of my doors, because my room's in the basement, right? I got chain locks on both of my doors, and I'm chain locking them and locking them every night. And I'm setting up Scooby-Doo style booby traps. I've set a bucket on the staircase so that when that door opened, a bucket would just fall and, like, wake me up. Like, when I tell you this, the extent that I had to go through just to survive in my own house is crazy. So, and there's about 5 security cameras surrounding my room, because this certain relative kept breaking into my room while I was at work and stealing my and throwing it in the trash for funsies. I don't know. Anyway, my friend, she takes me out. I'm not gonna say her name. I don't think that's necessary, but she's like, we need to get you out of here. Me and my dad are gonna take you to Florida. And I'm like, alright, bet. So I go to Florida with my friend and her family. And, just to kind of forget about everything. Even though I'm getting, like, phone calls about this certain, like, from other family members about this certain relative. Where, like, the police was involved. He tried to fight the cops, like, oh. So I'm in Florida, I'm trying to chill out. I'm getting drunk most of the time. Like, I'm in Florida, I'm enjoying myself, that's whatever. I get back from Florida. And I go back to work. See, my thought process at this point was, I just need to save up money. I'm gonna get back at my ex. I'm gonna go hardcore with this. I'm gonna get me a lot of money saved up. I'm gonna get a Fiat 500, and then I'm gonna travel. Like, I just want to travel all over. So that's what I was doing. I was saving up money. I was just working, getting the bag, whatever. I get back from Florida. I go back to work. There's 3 new hires. 2 of them are Two of them are irrelevant. They actually like quit a few weeks later, but that's whatever. There's one. I'll call him Lee, like LePew, because that's what this felt like. So at first, I didn't really give any mind to Lee, because I don't really socialize with my coworker. I like any of them at all. You know, I keep to myself. I don't really talk to my coworkers because I don't really trust people. Like, I'm kind of like invisible. I just kind of go and do my own thing. I don't really care about talking to people. My honest opinion is I thought Lee was gay. At first, I was like, whatever, he's just kind of there. I didn't really give any mind to him, whatever. Then I noticed, like, during one of the staff meetings that month, he's, like, staring at me, like, profusely staring at me. Like, and this is to a point where I can't even not notice it, because, like, it's like he's, like, staring into my soul. And, you know, I try to ignore that. That's whatever. I try to ignore that. I'm like, whatever, it's fine. And so now the staring is turned into, he's now trying to approach me. Yeah, so now he's trying to approach me. And I'm like, okay. I try to be nice to him. I don't want to be too nice, because every time I've done that, the situation gets worse. Because stuff like this has happened to me multiple times. Whatever, it's fine. So I'm like, he's like trying to talk to me, whatever, and he's like,
You know, my name's Lee. I don't know if we got introduced yet or...
I'm like, we have. Supervisors introduced us. What of it? He's like,
You're so mysterious. I've never heard you speak.
okay. So now I'm like, yeah, you're making my creep radar go off. I'm getting a little uncomfy. Take a step back, okay? Have you not learned anything from the videos that they made us watch? Whatever. I try to leave the conversation because I'm just like, I don't feel like talking, and I just don't like to talk like at work. It's just because I'm very bad at multitasking, as you can tell by this video, because I keep dying. I cannot talk and do things at the same time properly. So anyway, he's trying to talk to me. I'm just trying to get out of the conversation so I can go back to work. So I kind of pushed my cleaning cart away from it. I keep walking. I'm like, maybe he'll get the hint if I just keep walking away. He does. He eventually does. He ends up leaving the unit that day. So you know, I want to say it's October now. October rolls around, and he's now, I cannot describe it. I guess it's like a confidence boost. He is now like making effort to like try conversating with me. Like, I mean, going out of his way. And I was in the middle of cleaning a discharge room at the hospital. And you know, I'm in the bathroom. I'm cleaning, right? He like blocks me in the bathroom. He's standing behind me. Like, I didn't know he was there. He was standing behind me in the bathroom. And like, when I turned around, when I tell you, I like jumped 500 feet in the air and screamed. Because like, he's got me cornered in a small ass bathroom. And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I just wanted to talk. I'm like, brother, I'm trying to work. What the do you want? And I went back to cleaning. I was pretending he was not there because that's the only way that is the only answer I could come up with in that situation. And I was like, let me just pretend he's not here and go back to work. So it's now like getting to a point where I don't know if you've seen the episode where Squidward gets a restraining order on SpongeBob, where Patrick's just following him around. This is where it's starting to go. This is the territory it's heading to. So it's like every other day at this moment. Pestering. I guess that's the word. He was just pestering me. It wasn't full on, like, it was already a little creepy, but it wasn't full on, like, crazy yet, right? We're gonna time skip from, I'm gonna refer to it as the bathroom incident. So we're gonna time skip past the bathroom incident, right? Now it's November. And, you know, I'm feeling a little better. You know, my relative's not acting as crazy. They've got him on medication, whatever. So he was still acting a little odd, but like it wasn't anything. It wasn't me having to sleep with knives and shit under my pillow every night anymore at this point. So now it's November, and I'm getting excited to celebrate my birthday because last year it took place on Thanksgiving, so I was kind of hyped for that. Cause you know, whenever it falls on Thanksgiving every 4 years or so, and it makes me feel special whenever that happens. You know, you could call me a narcissist for that. So it's the end of my shift, right? I'm breaking down my cleaning cart, and he corners me again. This time he's got me trapped between the wall and my cleaning cart. So now he's got me cornered, and he's like, you know, I would really love to take you on a date sometime, and I just, you know, I've been looking through your Instagram, and your style is so like aesthetic, and you know, it's kind of my vibe, you know. And I'm like, I'm contemplating. I'm like, well, what the f do I? He's got me cornered. Like, what am I gonna say? Like, I'm slowly trying to inch towards the nurse's station a little more, so that maybe they can help me out. Like, I'm slowly inching, because I'm just like, I need out of this situation, and I don't know what to do. And he's got me cornered, and I'm sitting here trying to come up with excuses. And so I'm like, you know, I'm gay. He's like, yeah, you're pan. I saw it on your Instagram. So, there's no way out, because, I mean, he saw my pride photo, so he knows, like, see, now here I'm like, it's literally like causing me to like get freaked out again, all over again. So then I'm like, well, what the f do I say? How do I get? And so I just straight up lie, and I'm like, you know, I'm actually talking to someone right now, and it wouldn't be cool for me to just, you know, leave them hanging like that just to go on a date with you, blah blah blah. I don't remember all the excuses I said. So then he's like, well, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Huh?
Okay, that's a little weird, bro. That's like, even if I was talking to someone per se at that moment, that seems like cheating. That just seems a little weird. So now he's basically like throwing my own phone in my face, like, here, just, you know what, just type my number, and then you could text me later. I'm like, but I just want, if you like look into my point of view or just from my perspective, right? I just want to go home. I'm trying to go home. He's got me cornered between my cleaning cart, the wall, and the nurses are too busy to even help or pay attention. So I'm like, all right. So I type his phone number into my phone, and I'm like, maybe if I just don't say anything, you know, maybe that'll work. And but you know, so what happens is we're lining up to clock out, and now he's telling all my coworkers that he's given me his number, and so now all my coworkers are involved. And they have no idea. Like, there was only like a handful that knew this dude's true personality, but like the rest of them were like, oh, that's so cute, yes, you should go on a date. So at this point, I'm kind of panicking a little, because I'm like, what the like, so I'm kind of panicking a little, right? So I'm like, now I really want to go home. Like, I really just want to get home. I get home, and I tell my guy friends on Discord, I'm like, what the what the do I do? And, you know, of course, they're all like,
Just block him, bro. Just block him.
you know, that would work, right? That would work. Except we work together, and, you know, I'm in fear that he's going to confront me on this. And I'm, like, causing myself anxiety attacks, freaking out, like, oh my god, if I don't say anything, he's gonna confront me. If I block him, he's going to confront me. What the do I do? I do what I feel like is the best thing to do in this situation. I contact AI Spider-Man. I contact AI Spider-Man, and I'm like, bro, I need you to write me a rejection letter to send to somebody in the nicest way possible. And of course the AI is like, alright, bet. So he types out this whole paragraph that I proceed to send to this guy. Because, you know, I didn't know what the to say, and I had no interest in actually trying to, like, I had no interest in even talking to this guy. So I send him this rejection letter, right? And I'm like, the weight's off my chest, and I'm like, alright, this should be good. Maybe he'll leave me alone. Maybe he'll take the hint. Maybe he'll go away. Not even 2 minutes later, I get hit with well, can I call you to explain the situation? Explain what? I didn't even get to answer that text because now he's calling my phone. Let me try to remember. I can only remember like bits and pieces of this conversation because at this point I'm completely mentally checked out. I'm just not interested. I'm got too much going on in my life. I just want to go to sleep because I have work the next morning. So he calls me and he proceeds to go and talk about how lonely he is. And basically what I could summarize this phone call was him trying to guilt trip me into dating him. Because he's going on about how lonely he is and that he has no friends and that he just wants to make friends and he almost got me in the first half. I'm like, that's cool. I said we could be friends. I just don't want I don't want you thinking it's any more than that because I'm not interested in dating anyone at this particular moment. So, you know, he is giving me this sob story about how he just gotten out of a 2-year relationship. You know, so I'm like, cool, man. I mean, what am I supposed to do with this information? And he's still going. This phone call lasted at least 3 hours of me. It was just him talking. This is just I have not said a word this single phone call. And you're just so pretty, and you probably have your own apartment and your own car, and I bet you're so cool, like, outside of work, and, like, I just can't talk to my guy friends the way I can talk to you, you know? And, like, this is great. Me, like, saying, like, in the middle of this man just yapping, going, you know, what's this bitch tripping about? You know, I can't talk to my guy friends the way I could talk to you, you know? And I'm like, you just described a girlfriend again. So let me start over. I don't even want to be friends at this point, but I'm just like trying to be nice. So I'm just like, be just friends. Just friends, yes? You understand, right? Like, I'm treating him like a dog at this point. And I'm like, just friends. And he's still going. He's still going about, oh, you could get so dressed up nice, and yeah, I could take you out to this fancy restaurant, and, you know, the only reason I'm interested in you is because you never talk. You're so mysterious. It's now the 3-hour mark of him repeating himself and just hearing himself talk, because at this point, I've given up. You know, it's like talking to a wall. I'm not getting through to him. So, I'm just like, I gotta hang up. I got work in the morning. I don't know about you, but I got work in the morning. And it is now 11:30 at night, and I need to sleep. I'm like, and it's now, it's like, I want to say it's like 4 days before my birthday now at this point. And I get to work the next day. And now he's blowing up my phone. And I mean, like, non-stop texts, like, one after the other. And I'm just giving him one-worded responses because I feel like I don't even know what else to do at this point. I mean, yes, the obvious answer is block him, but, like, we work together, and I'm scared of confrontation. So here I go. So I feel like the best situation at this point, is to go to my coworker. I'm gonna call her MJ. And I basically give her the rundown of the situation in the phone call. And her initial response is, "Oh my god." She's like, no, you need to stay away from him. He's a very bad person. You need to stay away from him. And I tell her, I'm like, please don't tell the supervisors, because he hasn't done anything yet that warrants being reported for sexual harassment. Obviously, blowing up my phone and, like, that's technically harassment, but, like, I mean, like, nothing physical has happened, right? Because, like, I feel like, and, maybe that's because I've been victim blamed in every situation in all my life, because this is about the third time that a man is, like, cyber stalking me. I tell her, I'm like, please don't tell the supervisor, because I had the same situation in high school where I tried to go to my friends for help, and they all told me that I was the bitch, that I was the one overreacting, and that he wasn't a creep. Maybe that's the autism senses in myself, where I'm just like, I could pick up the bad vibes from a dude really quick. Except my ex. I don't know how that happened. So, I go to my coworker, and I'm like, please don't tell the supervisor. He hasn't done anything yet to warrant, like, getting reported, I feel. And she's like, this is harassment. I should report this. And I'm like, don't. Please don't. He hasn't done anything physical yet. And I just had the feeling that I was gonna be victim blamed, just like high school, all over again. Don't tell him. And she's like, alright. I won't tell him. And so I leave the break room. I go back to cleaning more rooms. Not even 4 minutes goes past. She comes back to me while I'm cleaning the room, and she's like, please don't hate me. And I'm like, oh god. She's like, I called them and I told them the situation, and they want to see screenshots of the text messages. So now I'm panicking again, because I'm just like, what the I'm like, I already know what's gonna happen. And so I'm like, whatever. I send her the screenshots, and she's like, thanks, I'll be back. And I'm like, oh, I'm like wanting to smash my head into a wall. So here she goes. They're talking about me and the situation while I'm not there. Kind of weird, kind of sketch, but whatever, it's fine. Then my coworker comes back. MJ pulls me into the break room. She's like, I got our supervisor on speakerphone. She wants to talk to you about this, and send her the messages and blah blah blah. So now the supervisor's talking to me, and she's like, well, send me the messages. I need to see this. I'm just like, please stop. I'm begging them at this point. I'm like, I don't want to make a big deal out of this. He hasn't done anything yet, and he's still blowing up my phone. There's like my coworker and my supervisors can hear my phone going off. So they're like, this is harassment. Sorry, I almost stalked myself. This is harassment, Jet. You should not put up with this. And I'm like, I am well aware. Believe me, I am well aware. They're like, this is a dangerous situation. We may have to walk you to your car, like. And they're causing me to have even more panic than I already had, right? Because now they're, like, filling my head with, oh my god, he's gonna follow me to my car. And so, now I'm like, whatever. I send the supervisor the messages, and she's reading through them, and MJ's like, you see this, right? Like, he's still she hasn't even messaged him back, and he's still going. And my supervisor's like, yeah, it's a lot of messages. And so then, so my supervisor and my coworkers are reading through these messages, and I'm just sitting there in the break room like, I just want to go home. I don't even want to be here right now. And so my supervisor's like, well, I'm gonna send him home. And I'm like, oh my god, I got him fired. Like, there's still part of me that feels bad, right? Because, like, at the end of the day, this is somebody's job, right? You know, even though, obviously, it's my job, too. But, like, I care a little about myself. That's some brutal honesty right there. I put other people's needs before my own. So, like, I'm now kind of feeling a little bad. And my coworker, she's like, do not feel bad. Like, this is just wrong. He shouldn't have been doing that to you in the first place. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So now I'm calmed down. They send him home. I'm calmed down a little bit. They assured me that he would not find out who or why he was sent home. About an hour or two goes past, and my phone goes off again. He's messaged me again. This time, he's like, how could you? I thought we were friends. And then he puts a period. I hate when people put periods in their messages because then it makes me feel like... And instantly my mind goes into panic mode once again. I'm like, how the did he know? How the did he know? That's basically like what my mind did, right? How did he know? Who told him? So now I'm going to MJ, and I'm like, did you tell him? Like, how does he know? And she's like, oh, he messaged you again? We told him he wasn't supposed to. I'm like, she's like, so then it's revealed to me that my supervisor told him why he went home and who reported him. Even though it wasn't me that reported him to the first place, she told him it was my fault that he got sent home that day, and that he was returning to work the next morning. So now I'm in my panic mode, because I'm like, he's gonna confront me now. He's going to confront me. And then I'm like freaking out, and MJ's like, oh, don't worry. We told him that if he ever goes near to you again, he's getting fired. And I'm like, that, you think that's gonna stop somebody? Like, come on now. So now I'm panicked, I'm pissed, and I'm actually considering quitting my job. I'm just like, why would she tell him? And my supervisor informs me that because I didn't outright tell him to stop, like, tell him no, and, like, tell him to leave me alone. Even though I did in the first
Maybe if you'd been working like you were supposed to, none of this would have happened.
She's like, because you told him you were okay being with friends, technically it was your fault that you were being too nice to him, so technically it was your fault. Just like I predicted, I was victim blamed once again. So now I'm pissed. I'm pissed at myself for even thinking I could trust anyone, because of course I already trusted nobody. So like, now I'm pissed at myself for thinking I could even trust like MJ with like anything, because like I simply told her about 5 or 6, 7 times, don't report it, and of course it got reported, and the exact scenario happened that I predicted. That I was going to be victim blamed once again for being too nice. So this is where we get to the good part, right? So I get home from work, and I basically just fall over and bawl my eyes out. My trauma of my ex is now rehashed and opened, because now I'm crying, because I'm thinking, well, you know, if he never left, like, this situation wouldn't have happened, right? I'm crying over him. My safety at home is still compromised because of, you know, situation with my relative, and now my safety at work is compromised. So I feel that I have no safe space. And of course, you know, I tried to like save myself a little bit here, because I was like, I try to contact my online friends. They're all busy with their own things, right? I'm like asking basically anyone if they would play anything with me, because I just needed an escape. I needed like something to calm me down, because at this point, I can't even describe the adrenaline rush I was feeling. It was like over the top. So So I tried contacting people, so I could distract myself. Everybody's busy, so I just fall to my floor, and now I'm crying. My cat's trying to comfort me. She's like, what the f*** wrong with you? And you know, I'm crying, I'm cuddling my cat, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I'm gonna have to see him tomorrow. I'm gonna have to see him tomorrow. This is where my mind's going, right? It's like, I have to see him in Huddle tomorrow. I need to avoid him. I need to get away from him. I don't know how to escape him. So I'm panicking. Like, my mind's going 100 miles an hour, thinking, what the f***? How do I escape the situation, right? So, I turn on Sleeping Beauty, because that's, like, my favorite comfort movie, right?
When will I see you again?
Oh, never, never.
I turn on Sleeping Beauty, and I cry myself to sleep. So the next day, I go into work about an hour and a half early. I wake up at 4, when I usually should wake up at, like, 5, 6, at the latest. But I wake up at 4 in the morning. In fact, I didn't even get any sleep. Like, I cried myself to sleep, but I woke up at 3. The adrenaline was in me so bad, like, I couldn't sleep at all. I was up all morning, panicking, pacing, thinking about what the f*** do I do? What the f*** do I do? My mask, my job mask, is now gonna be probably tarnished by this dude, because he wouldn't take no for an answer, right? That's basically what I'm thinking. Like, I'm freaking out, and like, I'm panicking, and I go into work early. Excuse me. So I go into work early, you know, and I tell my grandfather, because he drove me to work that morning, because, you know, I was working on getting my license, before I had a seizure. So my grandfather takes me to work early, you know, I give him the rundown of the situation, and he's like, you know, my grandfather's first response is, do I have to come in and talk to your bosses? And I'm like, I'm a 23-year-old woman. I think I can handle myself, even though I'm not handling it that well. I'm like, it's fine, don't worry about it. I don't want to make it a bigger issue than it already is. And so I get to work, and, you know, I have a bit of an attitude with MJ. She's team lead this morning. I have a bit of an attitude with her, because I'm still pissed from yesterday, right? And I tell her, and I say, I'm not going to Huddle this morning. Just tell me what I need to know now. I'm going upstairs. I don't want to be near him. And she's like, alright, go ahead. And I go to work. And when I tell you, I was speedrunning these rooms. I was speedrunning these rooms faster than Dream could speedrun a Minecraft game, right? And I'm like tweaking out. I'm literally tweaking out. I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm freaking out. I'm thinking he's out to get me. He's gonna get me again. And I'm like panicking. My mind's running like about 1,000 miles an hour. Like, oh my god, he's gonna get me. He's pissed. He's gonna get me. And I'm like, and I'm like, I'm tweaking out basically. Like, I look like a crackhead, right? So bad to a point that one of the nurses actually approaches me, touches my shoulder, and I like jump 3 feet in the air, like, because she's behind me touching my shoulder, and she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good, you know? I just had a rough, I didn't get very much sleep last night. She's like, okay, well, I'm just checking on you, because it kind of looked like you were having a medical episode. So I'm speedrunning these rooms. I'm cleaning these rooms really fast. I start to notice, I'm getting lightheaded. I'm like, that's a little odd. Maybe it's the anxiety. Maybe it's because I didn't eat breakfast this morning. So I'm like, I'm like, my head's getting lightheaded. Maybe it's because I didn't eat breakfast this morning. Maybe it's the anxiety. So I asked one of the nurses for a boost, because they give boosts to the patients all the time. And she's like, yeah, they're in the nutrition room, go get it. So I drink a boost thinking maybe that'll calm the lightheadedness. And so I drink the boost and I go back to work. You know, I'm still feeling lightheaded. And so I keep looking at the side monitor, and I should be looking at the camera, so if I'm doing that, I apologize, but so I drink the boost, you know, and I go back to work, and then I notice that I am now shaking all over, like uncontrollably shaking. So like I notice I'm shaking now, but like I'm brushing it off like I usually do with anything. I'm like, I need to stop acting stupid and just finish my job. I just need to finish my job, and then I could go hide in a closet somewhere or something. Like that's the thing that's calming me down, right? I'm thinking if I finish early, I could go hide somewhere that he won't find me, because that's the only way I could comfort myself at this moment, is like just hide. One patient's room, and I'm noticing I'm shaking, I'm lightheaded. I'm like, it's probably just anxiety, whatever. This lady, she's like, hey, so my toilet's clogged. And I'm like, sure, whatever, I'll call maintenance. For the life of me, I could not remember the maintenance number, even though I had that memorized, but I couldn't remember it at that moment. And I call MJ, and I'm like, hey, so what's the maintenance number again? And like, I'm noticing that I'm not speaking right, but I don't acknowledge it, but she acknowledges it, and she's like, and she go, I'm trying to think of a random number I could say that won't like out the hospital I work at, so let me just give me a second. 44448. She's well, actually it was 4448, something like that. That's not the real number. That's how many numbers there was. But yeah, she's basically like 4448, and I'm like, I wasn't understanding what she was saying. Like, it was so bad.
Dude, what is he saying?
So now I'm holding the, I'm like 444444448, and she's like,
Huh?
what the f***? Are you okay? And she like repeats it to me again, and I'm somewhat understanding, but like it's like I'm not understanding perfectly well. I'm like struggling, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just feeling a bit lightheaded. She's like, why don't you sit down? So I sit down in that conference room, and I sit for a minute, and I get on TikTok, doom scroll, whatever. My nose starts bleeding. And like, now I'm a little bit worried, because I don't really have nosebleed. I've never really had a nosebleed before. So now I'm kind of freaking out. And I'm like, well, maybe this is serious. Maybe I should tell somebody. So I text my cousin who's a nurse, right? We work in the same hospital. I text her, and I say, hey, hypothetically, if I were to be having a seizure, would I be aware of it? Because, so now I'm a little bit worried, right? My nose is bleeding. I'm a little bit worried. Sorry, my hand's sore from the keyboard. I'm a little bit worried. My first thought is, you know, and this was kind of like a random thought that flashed through my head, but then it like dawned on me, and I'm like, you know, maybe I'm having a seizure. But then like, I was also like, my subconscious is also like, brother, if you were having a seizure, you wouldn't be aware right now, right? That's the thought I had, right? Because I am epileptic, right? But like, whenever I would have seizures, I was not aware. Basically, my seizures were like, the silent kind. I can't think of what it's like medically called at the moment, but like, basically, I'll stare out into space, stop breathing. Nobody would know I'm having a seizure until I turn blue. Yeah. Or the other symptoms that my family have told me is like, I'll repeat myself like a broken record. That's the thing that got me, where I was like, well, holy crap, I was just repeating numbers like a second ago. Am I about to have a seizure right now? So I figured the best way for me to like calm myself down and like relax is, like, maybe I have her come check me out and make sure I'm alright. Because, like, I don't really want to go to the ER, because, like, I feel like you don't go to the ER unless you have medical emergencies, right? So, and then I also calm myself down, because, see, like, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, well, that nurse said that she thought I was having a medical emergency, right? So, now I'm thinking, I'm like, my nose is bleeding, I am uncontrollably shaking, I am very lightheaded. Now it's like pressure, like aura, like I'm feeling like, I can't even describe to you the way that this felt. Like my brain did something that that I have never experienced before, and I don't know how to describe it. It was like, it felt like my brain got pushed out of my head. That's what it kind of felt like, I guess. And now I'm like, holy shit, am I about to have a seizure? You know, I hadn't had a seizure since I was like 16, and so what the f***? So I text my cousin, and I'm like, hear me out, hypothetically, if I were to be having a seizure, would I be aware of it? And of course my cousin doesn't answer, because she never answers the phone. So I'm sitting in this conference room just waiting. I think about 10 minutes where I was like, alright, never mind, I'll just get up, it's fine, whatever. And I casually texted my aunt, I'm like, hey, you know, I texted so-and-so, like, I'm like, I don't know, I could be possibly having a seizure, but I'm not sure, and I'm gonna go back to work because I don't want to be too worried about it right now, and she's like, are you sure? And I'm like, I'm not sure. That's why I'm texting you guys. And she's like, well, now I'm a little worried. Why don't you go find a nurse and like tell them? And I'm like, I don't want to go to a random nurse because I don't want to waste their time. They're already busy, right? And you know, so I go back to work. I'm brushing this shit off. I go back to work. I'm gonna put too much, because, like, I obviously don't want to leak, like, whole conversations, but, like, I am not typing right. I'm not spelling right. I didn't notice this until after the fact. I was typing like a drunk person. So my aunt, and I think that's you know, I think, obviously it's why my aunt was freaking out, right? She's like, oh my god, this bitch is insane. So, so, I go back to work, you know, and I actually finished cleaning this whole unit. But then I have to go clean this other whole unit, because we had a call out that day. And I go to this other unit, and by this point, like, I don't even remember that much. I can remember bits and pieces. I remember at one point I went to my coworker jokingly, like, I think I might be having a seizure, but I'm not so sure. Joking, but like at the same time, my speech, I didn't notice this. In my head, I'm speaking and walking normally now. Like, I guess I had, like, gaslit myself so much that I didn't even notice. I jokingly tell my coworker, and I'm like, I think I might be having a seizure, but I'm not so sure. And my coworker looks at me concerned, and she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, it's fine, you know? By this point, my aunt's demanding me now. And she's like, you need to go upstairs to find your cousin. I am extremely worried. So I'm like,
what is this bitch tripping about?
So, I take the elevator up, I find my cousin at her nurse's station, whatever, and she walks up to me and she's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm not sure, I think I'm over dramatic, but like, it was coming out, like, my speech was so slurred that, like, my cousin, a nurse practitioner who was there charting for a completely different patient, hears the situation, jumps up from her chair, grabs a wheelchair, there's now another nurse that pops up behind me. I'm thrown into this wheelchair, and I'm thrown into a wheelchair by 3 different nurses, right? And a nurse practitioner, which is like a higher step above a nurse, like right below a doctor. And I'm like, I'm like, so now I'm in this wheelchair, right? And I'm like, what the fuck's happening right now? I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, at this point, it felt like a blur. Like, I'm thrown in this wheelchair. I'm rushed to the ER, right? Where I didn't want to be. I did not want to be here, right? They rushed me to the ER, and my cousin, she's giving me the ER people the whole rundown. She's like, this is my cousin. She's epileptic. She hasn't had seizures since she was like 16. She's had seizures since, like, she's giving the whole rundown. She's like, her first seizure was when she was a toddler, and her mom let her have a seizure overnight, and didn't take her in until 12 hours later, right? And so this is all going on around me. I'm on my work tablet. I'm on my work tablet, and I text MJ, and I'm like, hey, funny story. I'm in the ER again. Remember, I'm typing things completely wrong. I'm typing things like a drunk person. And she's like, you're what? She's calling my phone. My cousin has my phone. Now my cousin's got to answer my coworker and explain to her the rundown. And you know, the ER turns to me, right? They got to ask these questions to make sure you're like, okay. And she's like, honey, when's your birthday? I couldn't remember my own birthday. I look her dead in the face, and I say, June 12th, 2000. That's not my birthday. That's my ex's birthday. So that's not my birthday, right? I basically just, and my cousin, she hears this, and she goes, no, her birthday is on Thanksgiving. It's in 2 days. She goes, it's November 28th, 2001. I was so, like, out of it. Next thing I know, they're calling a code stroke on me. They think I'm having a stroke. So now I'm being rushed to the emergency room, right? I'm getting rushed to the emergency room. Now at this point, I'm like freaking out. I'm not even speaking words at this point. And I'm like, the way I'm speaking, it's like caveman speak. Everything was just gone, like all function. Like they don't know what's going on at this point. Everybody's freaking out. They don't know if it's a stroke. They don't know if it's a seizure. They don't know if it's a brain aneurysm. So, so now I'm being rushed into the ER room. They're pulling my work uniform off of me and throwing me into a gown. Like, it happens so fast. Like, they're putting heart monitors all over me and like brain monitors, and I'm like, what is going on? And so they rush me down to an MRI. And when I get down there, like, I was shaking like profusely, like so bad, like the lady, she had to like stop the MRI machine, and she's like, honey, I need you to stop shaking your head. I know you can't stop shaking, but you need to try and hold still. And I'm like trying to hold still, and like I remember I was like forcing my head down onto the mat, like trying to hold still, because I don't even remember, like, I've lost my ability to speak. When I talk, my face is like tightening and tensing, and like I'm twitching all over, and like my hands like doing this jerk movement, like, oh great, that's gonna be clipped, whatever. I'm not talking right, and I actually have like some footage of like what the talking was like for me. Like,
is it on?
Yes, it's on.
Okay, so I was just explaining to and I figured it shows my speech. I asked Dad, and well, I asked, but Dad would have wanted for Christmas, expecting a $40 limit, and she said a propane gas grill or a workout bench.
some of my thought process was coming back. I could think somewhat properly, but I couldn't speak. It was like my brain was It was like I was frozen. Like, it's like my brain is like trying to thaw. Like, my whole family is now showing up to this hospital room. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, what is going on right now? Because at the end of the day, I was still thinking I was being over dramatic. I was still trying to gaslight myself. Like, I'm fine. I just need to go back to work. And MJ takes my work tablet from me. And she's like, no, you're done. You're done for the day. So now I'm profusely apologizing to MJ. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, why are you sorry? Shut up. She's like, just shut up. It's not your fault. And at this point, now both my supervisor, my director, they come in to visit me, and my director comes in, and he's like, yo, yeah, you're not coming back to work until this is all figured out. They basically put me on medical leave at this point, and I'm like, in my head, I'm still thinking, am I gonna get in trouble for this? So, you know, the doctor comes in to see me, and I'm like, mentally, I'm laughing at this doctor because he sounds and looks like Owen Wilson. And he's like, well, what seems to be the problem today? And, you know, my family, and they're like, she's never, spoke like this before. We don't know what is going on. My grandfather, he, talks over everybody, and he goes, I think she had a brain aneurysm. Craziest take. The doctor looks him dead in the face and goes, if she had a brain aneurysm, this would be a different conversation. She'd be in the ICU with a tube in her throat. Whoa, man. Relax. They don't know, you know, they're like the epilepsy test, whatever. He's like, push my hand down with your feet. And so now I'm trying to push his hand down at, both my legs are, shaking. Both my legs are shaking, so, I'm kind of struggling to push his hand down, and he's like, Hey, so editor's note here, I found out after recording this, that through TikTok, that Chicago Med actually did an episode similar to what I went through, so I'm gonna just put some of those clips here.
I've been getting dizzy and nauseous, and now I can't stop doing this.
Arm motions, when did those start?
Today, after the seizure.
Let me run some tests and talk to your school while Miss Curry does a quick neuro exam.
I need to get better.
Understood. We're gonna take good care of you.
It's just a gas leak. Please just give me some medicine or something.
You weren't experiencing any symptoms at all? No warning? It just came up out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Calculus, wow. I'm very impressed that you can concentrate on that right now.
AP test is in a week. I don't have a choice.
Well, I'm sure that we can arrange for a medical extension under the circumstances.
People with medical extensions don't get into Princeton.
These young women are under a phenomenal amount of stress, aren't they? Stress? We're not talking headaches and fatigue here. These girls are having seizures.
These girls are having seizures.
These girls are having seizures.
So, the seizures and the tremors, you're telling me really were from stress and anxiety manifested as physical symptoms? It's a lot more you think. Remarkable how far our brains will go to avoid dealing with emotions we don't want to confront.
That's interesting. He's like, I'm gonna send her in for another MRI. I found this out after the fact, but when you have, a seizure, you lose control of one side of your body, right? Not both sides, just one side. So, the fact that I had lost control of both sides of my body was freaking the doctors out. He's like, let me run her down for another MRI. And at this point, me and the MRI techs are well acquainted with each other. I'm the one playing C418 in the MRI machine because she kept asking me what to play while they did this MRI. And, you know, every time I went down there, I went for 4 MRIs, by the way. Just gonna throw this out there. So by this point, you know, this MRI tech and me we're becoming best pals. She's making bank off me. When I tell you, every time I went down there, the first time, now I'm getting sidetracked. I played Minecraft music the first time, second time played Halo Reach, third time played Terraria music. Let me go back, because when I played the Halo Reach music while in that MRI machine was going off, that shit was crazy. They gave me another MRI. After the MRI came back clean, I decided at that point, I was scared about medical bills. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go home. I think it's an anxiety attack. I'm like self-diagnosing myself at this point. I'm like, I think it's an anxiety attack. I'm gonna go home. My whole family is like, do not go home. Yeah, and this is something way different, and we need to figure it out. And I'm like, nah, just send me home, man. This is fine. Excuse me. So I'm just like, I just want to go home. I think it's an anxiety attack, and this nurse is like, because obviously they don't really want to take care of patients, they try to send them home. Like, no offense, but it's something I've witnessed. But she's like, oh, okay. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it kind of sounds like an anxiety attack, so I'll tell them to discharge you. It's fine. The doctor that discharged me never saw me that day, by the way. She was at home having dinner with her family when the nurse was like, yeah, can you write the discharge papers? So they send me home. I go home. I play Mario Kart. I get on Discord with my friends. They're like, first reaction was, are you lagging? My other friend, he's like,
You dickhead, she's not lagging. She's had a seizure.
sorry, my camera ran out of storage. I had to do some stuff. They sent me home with a bottle of like migraine medicine and hydroxyzine. I don't remember. They sent me home with like 4 bottles of stuff. So they send me home, and I'm still stuttering, and I'm still like, my arm's still swinging uncontrollably. I'm still stuttering. When I was playing Mario Kart with my friends, while this was going on, and my arm's swinging by itself while I'm trying to hold the controller, listen, I got so much gamer rage I had never experienced, like, that much. Like, I basically kept throwing my own game because I couldn't hold the controller right. Literally, like, every time I talked, my arm would jerk. Like, it got that bad. Like, and my face was like, it was like twitching. Like, I just can't, it was bad. It was bad. So, my family, obviously I'm home now, and my family is like, you should never have left. You should have stayed in the hospital room. You dumbass. Like, natural selection at its finest. Like, what? We need to take you back. And I'm like, well, and at this point I'm getting mad because I'm like, well, that doctor said that seizures only happen in one side of the body, and he didn't believe me, and I'm pissed because he made me feel like I was stupid. I'm like, if I'm going to the hospital, I want to see a completely different doctor. Like, I don't want to go back. I'm like, I'll walk it off. They're like, no, you need to go back. So they take me back. They take me back to the ER again after, like, convincing. I pack my Switch and everything. And I get there. They give me they give me the 4th MRI. I see that doctor again, and he's like, I don't know what's going on with you. I'm gonna have a neurologist see you, because I'm not sure what's going on with you. Which is what they should have done in the first place, but, you know, I'll let it slide. So, so they're like, we're gonna have to keep you overnight so you can see the neurologist. Now I'm pissed, because the next day was gonna be my birthday. And I'm telling my family and the nurses this. I'm like, I don't want to stay another night. My birthday's tomorrow. I'd like to be out for my birthday, thank you very much. I don't want to be in a hospital room on my 23rd birthday. And they're like, well, sorry. That's where you're gonna be. So, I stay overnight. They take me in for the EEG. While they're doing this EEG, I remember hearing the ladies doing the test. I remember, when they flashed the lights in my face, like, my arm was doing the jerking. I really don't want to do that, because if I do that, my arm was doing the jerking thing while the light was flashing, and I heard one of them comment on it, and I was like, oh, that's not good. Family Guy's on the TV, and I'm sitting up in my hospital bed, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I'm in the hospital on my birthday, thanks to men. Specifically Indiana men.
Oh, Indiana! Oh, God.
Hell no! Hell no! Indiana!
I don't like that! What the fuck?
I'm like, wow. So I played my Switch the rest of that morning. I didn't go back to sleep. I played Stardew Valley the whole time. So you know, the next morning, they released me. They actually released me this time, finally. I just skipped way too far, and I'm sorry for that. Let me go back. So, the neurologist finally comes in to see me. The neurologist finally comes in to see me while I'm playing Stardew Valley. And, I pause the game, I set my tablet down. I'm by myself. My family is not awake at this point. It's like 4 or 5 in the morning. I don't know. He comes in, and he goes, well, we have all your tests. And he goes, and I'm wondering if it's psychogenic non-epileptic, I'm wondering if it's psychogenic non-epileptic seizure. I'm like, excuse me? What the f? I'm like, run that by me again? And he's like, yeah, so basically, it's a seizure, but it's not a seizure. It's basically when you got so stressed to the point you're so stressed to the point that your nervous system is fried, essentially. Basically, my whole body just shut down from the amount of stress I have gathered over the last few months and a half at this point. And so then he's like, just to be sure, I'm gonna send you to this other neurologist, because I'm not so sure what's wrong with you. So then they release me. They let me go. And I go to this other neurologist, and she basically repeats the same thing. She's like, yeah, due to the amount of trauma you've experienced in your childhood and adolescence, and then now, it's safe to say that you've been on fire or flight your whole life. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, I'm used to it. She's like, that's not fine. She's like, that's not fine. And the fact that you say that, I'm now sending you to therapy. They set me up for therapy, and then they gave me a bunch of prescriptions that I take. I have like 3 different bottles. I'm not gonna go into detail. I feel like you really don't need to know that. But yeah, that's where I've been for the last few months. I think I want to try doing YouTube again. If there's anything, before you guys jump in the comments and say blockheads, if there's anything else that you'd want to see, that would be nice. I mean, I think I kind of want to do streaming too, but I also want to wait till like I have at least enough viewers for that to even be like worth my time. Cause like, see, YouTube videos I can just upload and then people see them whenever, right? Like, if I was gonna stream, like, I want to, there has to be at least like 10 viewers, at least. That's my limit. But yeah, so, I mean, if you're new here and this is your first introduction to me, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is like a terrible introduction. Yeah, feel free to feel free to subscribe. I mean, I'm not gonna make you. I feel like half the subscribers on my channel probably vanished. Like, I feel like they're actually inactive, so I kind of feel like nobody's watching this, but like, whatever. I just kind of wanted to rant. Yeah, and that's about it. See ya.